Crisis in the Middle East, a third straight day of war with Iran. Operations are intensifying with each hour that passes. Right now at noon, the latest update from President Trump and the Pentagon, the impact the war is having on oil prices, and how New York is stepping up security. And we're about to get hit with another wintry mix of snow and rain. A first alert weather day is in place for tomorrow. Tony Sadiku tells us what you need to know to get ready. Good afternoon, I'm Cindy Hsu, now on air and streaming on CBS News New York. We start this noon with the latest on the war with Iran. This morning, Secretary of Defense Peter Hegseth gave the American people an update. He says the president is not ruling out ground troops, and the military confirmed 4 service members have been killed. Also, some airlines are resuming flights as the conflict in Iran continues. Etihad and Emirates announced they would start limited flights after halting them due to the war. Jessica Moore is following all the latest details and joins us now. Jess.
Well, Cindy, Defense Secretary Hegseth did give the administration's first official news conference since the war began late Friday, saying we didn't start this war, but we will finish it. Meanwhile, President Trump just told the American people the big wave in the war with Iran is still to come.
The war in the Middle East spiraled further Monday as the U.S. and Israel pummeled Iran and Tehran hit back, firing missiles toward Gulf states, targeting safe havens like Dubai. Monday's markets opened lower and oil prices shot up as President Trump updated the conflict.
Today, the United States military continues to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime. The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America.
The Pentagon now says the conflict could last much longer than originally planned, but maintains no American boots on the ground for now.
Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth would not rule out deploying U.S. troops to Iran in the future.
President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years.
Meanwhile, fighting between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah militants continues to escalate on the heels of the death of Iran's supreme leader. The UK agreed Monday to allow its bases to be used for American defensive operations, and the Pentagon confirms 4 U.S. service members have been killed.
And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
New video shows the chaos of the war unfolding in real time as U.S. fighter jets fall from the sky in a friendly fire attack. U.S. Central Command says the F-15s were mistakenly shot down by Kuwait's air defenses, but that all crews ejected and are now in stable condition. The Pentagon offering no apologies for what it calls Operation Epic Fury and calling on the Iranian people to take back their country. But concerns over a looming power vacuum remain.
The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser-focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons.
And we have been covering the political fallout over the president's decision to launch this war with Iran. Democrats say he acted illegally without congressional approval. The administration is scheduled to brief Congress on the military action tomorrow. Cindy.
Jessica, thank you. After the bombing started and there was confirmation that the Ayatollah and several of his key aides had been killed, President Trump urged the Iranian people to topple the government. Is regime change possible? Political reporter Marcia Kramer joins me now with that part of the story. Marcia.
Well, Cindy, President Trump's words to the Iranian people were, and I quote, "It will be yours to take," meaning he thinks the time is ripe to topple the regime that has ruled the country since 1979. But experts I spoke to say it may be harder than he thinks. Barry Rosen was the U.S. press attaché at the American Embassy in Tehran when the mullahs overthrew the Shah, and he was taken prisoner for 444 days. He says the thought that you can effect regime change simply by killing the top leaders in Iran may be simplistic and pie in the sky for both the Americans and the Israelis. Do you see a situation where cutting off the head of the serpent, so to speak, by killing the Ayatollah and some of his key advisors would have the effect that the Americans wanted to have, which is to
give the people an opportunity to rise up and take control?
No, I don't see that. I think the regime is still intact. As many as Iranians who have been killed by the United States, there is a grand supply of new rising Iranian leadership that is pro-Islamic Republic. I could actually see chaos more than anything else.
Well, another expert I spoke to at the Council on Foreign Relations says that what's more likely is that President Trump is committing himself and future presidents into a course of related bombings every time the Iranians build up their missile supply. He says it's called mowing the lawn. You have to bomb Iran every so often, the same way you always have to mow the lawn because the grass grows back. I'll have more on the story coming up at 5. Cindy?
Marcia, thank you. And the NYPD says it's closely monitoring the situation in the Middle East and has stepped up security and sensitive locations across the city. Extra patrols could be seen at the Holland and Lincoln tunnels this morning, as well as outside the Israeli consulate in Manhattan. Added security will also be visible at houses of worship, including synagogues around the city, as Jewish communities celebrate Purim tonight. Police are also asking the public to report any suspicious activity. Gas prices are rising as oil markets react to the war with Iran. The national average for regular gas is just under $3 a gallon today, according to AAA. That's up about 6 cents per gallon from a week ago. Analysts say while gas prices normally spike this time of year due to seasonal demand, the war with Iran has only sped up those increases. While gas prices surge, U.S. stocks tumbled today after the military strikes by the U.S. and Israel on Iran were followed by counterattacks, sending shockwaves through global markets. Here's a live look at where things stand at this hour. And we'll continue to bring the latest developments on the war with Iran. We'll have more team coverage throughout the day, and you can find even more updates on our website, cbsnewyork.com.